I would have to assume that other populations have not done this, given the amount of churches and things called Mary's House. I would assume other populations in history have not been this harsh. Um, my reasoning would be, why would I be so shocked by it? You could theorize that I just have a very innocent brain where I do not actually assume things about other people. And if I do make assumptions, they're always for the best until I'm proven wrong. It has to do with being either an optimist or being perpetually negative. It's just a wonderment. It causes me some bit of psychological stress. Just how are any beings that bad and just insane? That's why, in a nice way, none of them answer my questions. But I mentioned this before, that it gives a lot of insight into Larry King, when he would always ask his guests, do you have a faith? And I think he would ask them a couple of questions before that, or it had something to do with their lifestyle or something. And then all of a sudden, he would take a pause and then he would say, do you have a faith? So I have an understanding of that question now, because I would ask the same question, because it just becomes, I guess, out of being completely helpless to it and frustrated, all you can do is have an inquiry about it, where in other times you wouldn't care, to be dead set honest. The other thing that I mentioned before is, in the past, we could get away from the other species. The earth was not completely built upon. Also, you had laws set up so that this wouldn't happen to me, as I pointed out about the alimony laws. That doesn't mean we were marrying men on purpose and using them, by the way. It's not what that means. Getting people that are psychotic and enraged with envy to actually be honest, good luck. But yeah, you would in hindsight go, were you making up a disclaimer? Like, was there something about the man, right, that you made up a disclaimer? Like, he's abusive, you would never be diminutive with a man, you've got to have your own work and your own money. Like, homemakers have their own money. It's called a joint checking account. Those men don't restrict us from spending money. As I pointed out and displayed, yeah, no, they don't do that until they get another female that then becomes enraged because she wants that money. Otherwise, they don't care. So, right, you go, were you like this when we were with these men? Or it's just, you would think so, given the fact that I've met a couple where they were still married and they took all of their 6 minors and adopted them out over an electric bill, a family from Georgia. And then they were relentless to break them up before they would give her housing. They would not give them housing as a couple. So that is like, right, it's just gross, honestly. Well, that's why I would theorize they were like that before, but they were making up something to control their rage, or they weren't living in a society where it seemed socially acceptable to attack us.